Welcome to the News First Center. $14.6 million. That was the total value of the highly controversial MiG deal, which we at News First have been covering for some time now. Today, the Sunday Times has made some startling revelations into the nearly 3-year-long investigation that has been carried out by the Financial Crimes Investigation Division, or FCID, into the procurement of MiG-27 aircraft for the Sri Lanka Air Force. Let's take a look at the contents of this latest report. The Sunday Times reports that the purchase of MiG aircraft for the Sri Lanka Air Force, touted as a government-to-government agreement between Ukrenmash, a military goods export firm in Ukraine, and the commander of the Sri Lanka Air Force, has turned out to be a fraudulent document. The article reports that the FCID has said that the Ukrainian Prosecutor General has confirmed that there has been a financial misappropriation in the deal. The FCID team, led by senior DIG Ravi Vaidyalankara, who travelled to Kiev in search of answers, met with Ukrainian Prosecutor General and officials from Ukrenmash. When the FCID raised questions about the sale of MiG aircraft, officials at Ukrenmash had responded by stating that they had never sold MiG aircraft to Sri Lanka. According to the Sunday Times report, the so-called contract of July 26, 2006 between the Sri Lanka Air Force and Ukrenmash was false. FCID has uncovered that Belimisa Holdings is a front company of the alliance and its managing director Lee Tan-soo. Reports note that the FCID was able to uncover that the Ukrainian authorities had 2 different agreements with Singapore-based DS Alliance to which the Air Force had made payments. The Sunday Times, quoting the FCID investigation report, notes that, quote, "It has been observed that the director of Ukrenmash, Dmitry Alexandrovich, Sri Lanka's former ambassador to Russia, Udayanga Weeratunga, the Singaporean company DS Alliance Private Limited, managing director Lee Tan-soo, Belimisa Holdings Limited representative Kekola Kolderkaev, and Sri Lanka Air Force officials have been involved in the financial misappropriation and conspiracy and aiding and abetting in misappropriation," unquote. The Sunday Times also reports that the original fake agreement has gone missing from the Air Force headquarters. The FCID has identified the individual they believe is responsible for this incident and is consulting the Aegis Department on what action they could take. Funds from the SLAF have gone to Belimisa Holdings Limited. From there, the funds have been remitted to a secret account in the British Virgin Islands where the company had been incorporated. FCID investigations have revealed that Rovich, then a director of Ukrenmash, had signed on behalf of Ukraine thereafter. The Ukrainian authorities tracked him down at a Paris address and arrested him. We apologize for the technical difficulties we experienced during the covering of that story. Just for clarity's sake, among the main points that the FCID uncovered in this, according to the Sunday Times exclusive report, is that the original fake agreement, which espoused this as a government-to-government transaction, has gone missing from the Air Force headquarters. The FCID has identified the individual they believe who is responsible for this incident and is consulting the Aegis Department on what action should be taken. This report reveals that funds from the Sri Lanka Air Force have gone to Belimisa Holdings Limited, a front for Singapore-based DS Alliance and its managing director, T.S. Lee, also known as Lee Tan-soo, and that these funds had been remitted to a secret account in the British Virgin Islands where the company had been incorporated. There are several key points that we need to address, several key questions that need to be asked. The name of Udayanga Weeratunga has come up constantly in relation to this MiG-27 aircraft. It's purported that he was one of the key players in arranging this deal, although Mr. Weeratunga himself, in press statements, has denied any involvement in the MiG-27 deal. However, given that these names are mentioned, Mr. Lee Tan-soo, the commander of the Sri Lanka Air Force, Belimisa Holdings Limited, DS Alliance of Singapore, Ukrenmash, it is necessary to identify the relationships between these individuals and to identify the name of the owner of that secret account in the British Virgin Islands. This deal was initially espoused as a government-to-government transaction, a G-to-G deal cutting out all middlemen. However, the latest Sunday Times report and continuous reporting by us here at News First has revealed that this G-to-G was a mere facade that was intended for middlemen to make millions. This is the agreement that the fake agreement that has now gone missing. And you can see in this, the designated party here has been listed as Belimisa Holdings Limited, the seller, Ukraine Marsh, and the buyer, commander of the Sri Lanka Air Force. What fate befell this agreement? Where is it? On what grounds were these aircraft purchased for the Sri Lanka Air Force? Just for the purpose of clarity, we have nothing against the procurement of arms and armaments during a time of war, as far as logic and reason dictate that it is necessary. What really concerns us, though, is that unscrupulous individuals have made millions of deals such as this. What is of particular concern to us in this particular incident, the procurement of the MiG-27 aircraft, is that it may have led to the assassination of one of our own. Mr. Lasantha Wickrematunge, then editor-in-chief of the Sunday Leader, who also worked very closely with us here at Newsfirst and served here at Newsfirst for a time as well. Various opinions are now being touted around regarding the killing of Lasantha Wickrematunge. There are uncertainties regarding whether he was shot or whether he was beaten to death. Several years, 2009 January, he was assassinated. We're in 2018 now, and we still have no progress on the assassination of Lasantha Wickrematunge, and no one has been brought to book. At the same time, no one has been brought to book on the MiG-27 procurement controversy either. One of the main men wanted in connection with this transaction, Mr. Udayanga Weeratunga, was recently apprehended in Dubai, or rather detained in Dubai, by authorities there, following an Interpol Blue Notice that was requested by the Sri Lankan authorities. Is he still in Dubai? Our authorities are quite mum on that. Where does this case go from now? Will Mr. Udayanga Weeratunga come back to Sri Lanka to face the law and be declared either guilty or not guilty? Does he have any intention of coming here? He is active on social media. He is issuing press statements to the media here at home, but the authorities here in Sri Lanka have as yet been unable to find him and record a statement.